This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. Authorities in the United Kingdom have signaled that they are ready to deport dozens of Jamaicans who were convicted there for a range of criminal offenses. Jamaican officials revealed yesterday that the group of 50 is expected to arrive in the island on February 6 on board a special chartered flight. They will be accompanied by 190 British security personnel, law enforcement sources have revealed. Jamaica's National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, confirmed to the Gleaner that he signed a document last Wednesday giving approval for the aircraft to land in Jamaica. A Jamaica Defense Force battalion is now permanently based in St. James. The revelation was made last evening by National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang as he addressed the community forum in Norwood, St. James. Dr. Chang sought to assure the residents their safety would not be compromised when the state of public emergency in the parish expires. The special security measure in St. James will come to an end on January 31. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett says the tourism sector should achieve full compliance with the ban on single-use plastics by the end of this fiscal year, March 31. Bartlett was speaking at a recent JIS think tank held at the agency's headquarters in Kingston. He described the move by the government to ban some single-use plastics as seminal and shared that the tourism sector has been at the forefront of sustainability discussions. Under the ban, exemptions were made for products used to containerize meats and other foods in the tourism, food and beverage industry. Since 2018, approximately 16 countries worldwide have made strides to curtail plastic pollution by imposing bans and fines on the use of plastic bags, plastic straws, and styrofoam products. Jamaica, on January 1, 2019, made history and joined those countries by banning the use of these items. The Ministry of Health is advising persons to seek medical attention immediately after experiencing symptoms of dengue fever. Making the call, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Mackenzie says once individuals are infected with the disease, they will encounter warning signs of persistent vomiting, abdominal pain, tiredness, signs of confusion, weakness, and restlessness. She said that over 70% of persons who contract the disease experience mild symptoms such as fever and rash over the eye, and in those cases, caution must be exercised with home treatment. Dr. Mackenzie said persons must take steps to clear mosquito breeding sites and avoid being bitten by mosquitoes, as the infected mosquitoes will also transmit the disease to other family members. Private electricity generating company Jamaica Energy Partners deposited 1,800 tilapia fish in several recently cleared gullies in Old Harbour Bay in St. Catherine in order to help combat the spread of dengue fever. The energy company, in a release yesterday afternoon, said that due to the recent influx of dengue-related illnesses and deaths in Jamaica, it has taken on the initiative to play its part in a mosquito eradication program for the community. The company said it has engaged the Public Health Department and the Aquaculture branch of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries to establish a partnership for this cause. The Education Ministry is warning school personnel that disciplinary action could be taken against them if they continue to use any form of physical punishment, which may result in injury or abuse of a student. In a bulletin issued yesterday, the ministry reminded school administrators that all forms of physical punishment contravene the Child Care and Protection Act and the Convention on the Rights of the Child. The ministry's release comes amid recent media reports about incidents of corporal punishment in schools. The ministry has again directed that school boards, principals, and school officials ensure that all appropriate measures are taken to comply with its directive. Cabinet has approved official funeral services for two former government ministers. Dwight Nelson, and Ambassador Frank Pringle. Pringle, who served as Minister of Tourism from 1989 to 1992, died on December 10, 2018, at the age of 88. A condolence book for the former Minister Pringle will be opened from January 23 to January 25 between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. at the Houses of Parliament during the official mourning period for his passing. The funeral service for Pringle will be held on Saturday, January 26 at the Half Moon Hotel Conference Center in Rose Hall, Montego Bay, St. James, beginning at 2 p.m. Nelson, who served as a Minister of National Security and Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Finance and Public Service between 2007 and 2011, died on December 24, 2018, after a period of illness. He was 72 years old. The official funeral for Mr. Nelson will be held on Thursday, January 31, at Holy Trinity Cathedral in Kingston, starting at 10 a.m. A condolence book will be opened for former Minister Nelson at the Houses of Parliament during the official mourning period from January 28 to January 30, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Jamaicans in the United States are reportedly ecstatic about the announcement by Democratic Senator Kamala Harris that she will run for president in the 2020 election. The California senator, who was elected in 2016, has a Jamaican father and an Indian mother. Wayne Golding, a member of the Jamaica Diaspora Advisory Board for the Southern U.S., said they have been paying attention to her rise in politics and were expecting the announcement. The U.S. dollar on Friday, January 18, ended trading at Jamaican $132.56, down by 22 cents. According to the Bank of Jamaica's daily foreign exchange trading summary, the Canadian dollar ended trading at Jamaican $100.37, up from $100.29, while the British pound sterling ended trading at $169.62, up from $169.41. In regional news, Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt blasted the international community on Monday over its unilateral demands for tightening measures within the international services sector in the region, and he has again called for a united CARICOM approach on the matter. He spoke in Parliament on pieces of legislation to be amended, which included the Offshore Amendment Banking Act 2019, as called for by the European Union. Skerritt said regional unity is needed in dealing with the matter.
Caribbean institutions need to inform themselves about these issues and stand in defense of our sovereignty, the little that we have or allowed to exercise of it. Because no one knows what else. No one knows what else. They may impose on you, and what they impose on you may require a constitutional amendment, which will require a referendum. And they will say, well, you know, forget the referendum, you have to go to Parliament and amend it. Find a way to amend it. And therefore it's important on these issues, we wrap ourselves from head to toe for national flag.
Skerritt described the new measures as an external shock that will impact countries' ability to attract investments. He accuses the international community of trying to get in the way of Caribbean countries wooing investors.
Want us to stop granting concessions to investors, local and foreign. But you go to their jurisdictions, they have 20-year tax breaks, 30-year tax breaks, also concessions to investors in the country. But they're telling us that we should not give, and you know, they started first, Mr. Deputy Speaker, they started first by making it a fiscal issue. A fiscal issue. By saying that you are denying yourself revenue by giving these concessions. And now they have made it a political issue. because they couldn't get their way through the fiscal arguments. They've gone through the route of political route, and then if you don't do it, then you're in trouble.
In sports, sprinting icon Usain Bolt, through his Usain Bolt Foundation, has committed $1 million towards Special Olympics Jamaica's efforts to compete at the 2019 World Games in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, in March. The retired athlete has also brought along his longtime sponsor, Puma, the German-based sports good manufacturers, on board in a sponsorship which will see the delegation receiving full gears and equipment for the championships, which runs between March 14 and March 21. Bolt was present for a short handing over ceremony at the offices of the Special Olympics Jamaica, located inside the National Arena, and he employed other athletes as well as corporate Jamaica to join in the efforts. In cricket, outspoken Cricket West Indies board director Unock Lewis could find himself in hot water with the regional body over his recent public criticisms of the appointment of Richard Pybus as Windies coach. In a statement Friday, CWI said that the charges leveled by Lewis was referred to the Ethics Committee for review. Pybus has been appointed on an interim basis, with a permanent head coach to be found by September. Lewis had publicly slammed the appointment, accusing the CWI president Dave Cameron of hand-picking the Englishman and ignoring the best practices of fairness, transparency and due process. But CWI in the decision said the decision was made with an over two-thirds majority of the board. And that's the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom. Pleasant viewing.